What is up, guys? It's Mason once again. Don't worry, I'm gonna try and play a Jubava or something. Don't expect the exact same thing from me every single time. I mean, it's not bad in the first place to play the exact same thing over and over again. They are just cool ideas in chess. Now, mind you, I have not practiced any of what I just played. I'm playing them because I think they are cool. I can play like a King's Indian defense, which is something I've not played in a while. I think this is a viable move. Not so sure. He might try something of this nature to try and create like a hole here that he can slot his knight into, which is also like plausible. So let's see. Let's say pawn push there rather. Hmm. I think just pawn push is fine. Again, I could be wrong. There could be a trick here. This queen on this like fat rank is really kind of like annoying me. A simple move I could play is like just bishop back, right? That way, if my opponent decides to go like pawn push, I'm completely fine there. After this move, pawn push just, I think, wins this. So that's kind of like why I'm looking at bishop back. Or just maybe bishop takes here. That way my knight can just quickly transfer itself here. But I'll go for this because it's reminiscent of the Maroczy bind. The pawn push, pawn takes, knight takes would have been nice. Fortunately, I don't think we can do. Can go pawn push here though. And now we can even go back with that whole idea we're trying. Because the queen is no longer in that position. I think that's all plausible. I don't want to lock my bishop in. That's kind of like where my mind is at. Or do I just lock it in anyways? Let's try that. There's takes here, which I've seen before. We'll keep the pawn tension here till I feel like I should resolve it with either pawn push or something. He might want to get his knight in this square to like put pressure here, so maybe he would consider this at some point. But then again, I feel like that's going to be like okay for me if he was to do something of that nature. I didn't want to play e3 because it locks in this bishop, right? And so yeah, that's one of it. I know the ideas of this, but I saw that he could quickly play this and that, and my bishop would be very, very inactive on that square. So even with this, I could still go this way, and I'm completely fine. I could also just play this move. But sincerely, I don't know how I'll continue here. I'm kind of thinking he wants to like develop the knight. F4. I don't know about putting the bishop here. It doesn't look like it has any. And again, I'm not so sure about this. Though this is like an English. I feel like the way I've played it does not guarantee me that solace about. How does my opponent continue? That's what I don't know. Should I go like this? I could. B4, castles, B5. If he locks up the position, then I can go takes. Knight takes, pawn takes, and then I can jump in here, which would be. My only issue is that I haven't castled. Let's play this. I'm spending too much time thinking. I'm playing this and then I'll go with this idea. Yeah. Now we have A5. A5. Ideally, you don't want to do stuff like this. But I see some interesting like squares. Now, the reason I played the bishop first is so that if there's any threat, I'm just one move away from castling. And that's much safer than if I had to now play this and then play this, right? So anytime I sense a threat, I can just quickly hide here. These structures are very dangerous. It's not safe for me. But for example, with these two moves, I do see a way in which I can like slot my knight here and possibly get a pawn on the 6th rank. That's kind of like where my mind is at in all these positions. I know his name here is Seriaku. It's tactics or strategy. He's definitely thinking about taking now. So if bishop goes back, then I know he's thinking about taking. Yeah. So he's definitely thinking about taking. I think I'm okay letting him take. I have 2 defenders at the moment. I can also bring my rook here. My bishop goes back as well, adding to the defense of this should my opponent add 1. I'm playing fast here because I could predict this. Ooh, I didn't look at that. Yes, takes, knight takes, pawn push. I didn't look at that. That is a bit annoying. Yeah, my pawn structure is just getting demolished here. Maybe I shouldn't have played rook. Maybe I should have played something like pawn push. Because takes, I can play knight takes. And if knight takes, I take here. He still can't play pawn push. Actually, he can. Hmm. Yeah, because e takes d4, knight takes d4, c5. Even if I play knight to f5, he can play takes. And knight here doesn't help me. Takes, and then he can defend it. So I'm going down a pawn. That's if I play that line. But if I don't play that line, after like e takes d4, knight takes d4, he's going to play this. I'm going to take here. He doesn't play that. That is shocking. takes, knight takes, knight takes, pawn takes, pawn takes. I have this guy hanging here. Not hanging per se. So how about takes here? Pawn takes, pawn takes. If knight takes, knight, queen takes this way. I don't... Let's take here. Let's take here. Knight takes, we take here. And now this guy's defended. He could have taken it the previous turn, but I'm sure he was worried about the this move. So for example, if he took, was it here? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what he was worried about, but he could have taken there. And this is what I was making reference to. So I can slot my knight in here to watch over this pawn. My rooks can also join the defense of the pawn. And the position is looking up for me. The move order, though, is what I have to be careful about. Okay, so since he played here, I'm kind of okay with that. Wait, if I play this and he jumps in here with his knight, what do I do? Do I just go forward? Yeah, I think I just go forward. Oh, wait, instead of going this way, why don't I just go this way? This just stops this whole idea. Yeah, I think that's just it. His bishop is kind of stuck. I wanted to keep the bishop here because of I wanted ideas of like pawn push, but I don't know how realistic they are. I do have like these sets of moves. It's gonna be tricky. Because it's obvious what he's trying to do here. Yeah, because if I go this way, he's coming in this way. Um, um, I mean, this is the only move. Rook comes in. We have equal material. I'm just up a pawn, which is this one. That's like what I'm going to try and use to win the game. I have this square covered. I have this. I'm going to have this squares covered. This square, this square, this square. Yeah, he can't come in with his rook, and I can try and go for this. But it gives him back the pawn if I do go for that. So I don't know if I really do want it. Yeah, with this now I can go like bishop here. Yeah, so covered, 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 covered. So it's very difficult for my opponent to make any progress. I need to do something about this. I don't know if that's a necessity. Making a hard choice here. I want to bring the bishop back and then transfer my knight and maybe lose this pawn. But I think this pawn is giving me some pressure. And now I want to go e4, e5. That's basically the idea. The pawn push, I go takes, takes, and then I have knight here. Bishop takes, takes. He still has a problem there. So I thought he was going to play h5. He didn't, and that gives me the ability to play that. The kind of position we are in right now, the only thing I'm kind of worried about is this rook infiltrating, which happens once this knight vacates from the square. So I'm kind of hoping I could get this, sack his knight away, so that I can bring my bishop here to watch over this square. That's kind of like what I'm looking at the immediate. The singular pawn is definitely making my position much better, but there's still a lot of game to be played. When I play like this may be the right way to play, but it's not to my style. Like, I feel uncomfortable when I play like this. And that's why I'm usually like akin to losing these kinds of positions. But I think sometimes if you want to win chess, you just have to learn to play the positions you hate, right? You just have to learn to play the positions you hate. The point is, if I get this knight just becomes very bad. Yeah. I think I still go pawn push. No joke. I could simply go this way, but I think I still just go pawn push. Time is too short. Takes, takes. Or do I just jump in here with my knight? Bishop takes, takes. The knight comes back is the issue there. If I play this knight, you can just jump in. That's what I want to play. I want to prevent this knight from ever coming back here. Did I mess up? If I play this move, but I can take. If contemplating pawn takes or bishop takes, and I can come in here. And once the rook is gone, I am much more confident. I think I still go after it. Oh, I can't do what I initially planned on doing. That is planned. I know I feel like he's going to do that. I just don't know. I just feel like he's going to do that. He doesn't. I am not trying for this at all. I am not. This kind of now makes me want to try for this. I was not trying for that, but that move makes me want to try. Maybe I should start getting my king into the position. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, there's increments. I shouldn't be too scared. That sound really irks you sometimes. It makes you feel like you're losing, even though you're not necessarily in that lose. Maybe I could have gone this way, right? You take care, I can take. That's the issue he has. Can I mess up with that? I didn't know. He can't take here because I just take there. He can play pawn push, but that allows takes. That allows takes. If king takes, now I make his position look a little bit miserable. Push takes pawn. Slowly but surely. Nice. Oh, that was nice. Yeah, Seriaku. I know that's like Japanese, I think, for tactics. Yeah. So yeah, this was another interesting one. Playing something I don't know or messing things up. But I think in this position, my opponent was the one who messed up clearly. And I'm specifically looking at this side. Yeah. After this, I think he should have just gone this way. Let's go to analysis. Sorry. I think this move would have like given him the position. What I was contemplating is this, and now I have my knight jumping into this square, which maybe helps me. But here I think black is okay, if not better. Yeah, watch the engine disagree with me. Yeah, the engine disagrees with me. Yeah, I wasn't so sure. So did he play the right move? This all were bad. Yeah, but I mean, I played like an English mixed with the Trampowski idea, and like I really did feel the pressure from this. The reason I didn't take here, or I didn't do anything about this, and the reason why like I allowed this whole thing is like I'm very well aware of the Maroxy bind, which is this position, and I've played it a couple of times and I've studied it a bit. I don't often get it, so I was kind of like eager to try it out. Um, so yeah, I was okay with it. Again, yeah, your point is kind of trying this, and you definitely have this move. There are weaknesses. Can target these squares. I think the ideas of of this, if I recall. Forgive me. But yeah, so I remembered all that, and I was okay with it. I wanted to bring my bishop here. I think so far with the way the game went, I'm happy I didn't bring my bishop there, but I kept it here. And yeah, so this was the thing. I wanted to go this way first because I knew he would castle, and then I would have my first point of contact. If takes, I jump in here and I'm fine, right? Um, if if he doesn't take him, for example, he plays, I don't know what else he would play, like pawn push. I thought I would take here, he takes here, and then the same idea comes in here, right? But if you take, then fine. I think this is good for white, right? The only issue I had is maybe I was completely fine and I was just thinking wrong. Maybe this is fine. Maybe this is fine. No, it's not. It's not. Okay, no, it is. It is. It is. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking that I would be in trouble. Again, this assume my opponent plays in this way. I was thinking I was in trouble. That's why I played the bishop move first. So that if, for example, there was any reason for which this file would open up, I just have a one move castle. My knight defends the bishop, so I was kind of like fine. And I think the slow move is it's fine. It did help because we did see everything. We did see that this was going to happen, and I think I prepared myself. I don't know if this move was the best move. I think it did help me out in the future if I caught the game. Yes, it did help me out here, right? But I was kind of looking at other options. For example, I was looking at this move instead, or even here, going b4. That way, if takes, I can take this way and everything. What I was worried about was the alignment of the queen. That was one of the things that was bothering me. But my opponent solved that issue for me, so thank you to him. Yeah, knight takes, and this is what I mean by he solved the position. So takes, and then I just have this pawn. And the question is, can I hold on to the pawn? And that's what I was trying to answer. The bishop here, and then very nice move by him. He makes it difficult for me to solve this issue. But then I quickly noticed the rook cannot step into the position. I actually didn't even notice this, right? The king is stuck on these two squares. And that is just like very good for me. And now it's just a matter of like, can I create threats? I played this because I was going to go g4. But I think I just wasted my time. I could have just gone g4. Maybe the way I went about it is what caused my opponent to not play it well. But he should have gone h5 at some point. Like, I don't know why he didn't go h5. Because now, yeah, but this I didn't see. So I think here he actually caught me. I think here he actually caught me. Here I think white is definitely fine. But here I think he caught me. I think the engine would, yeah. Here he definitely caught me unawares. And I suddenly realized that, okay, now things are not going on well. Because now the rook can actually infiltrate. And he didn't play it in that way. I'm sorry, what was it? Here. I think... No, it doesn't work that way. What was I thinking here? H takes g5, which is what I actually wanted. Then bishop to f4. Ah, now I actually lose the pawn. Right. I looked at this, but it doesn't work, of course. Yeah. So, yeah. Right idea, wrong execution. And here, I kind of just tried something. Again, in this position, I was looking at like knight to g5, g4, targeting the bishop. I don't see the merit of it. After bishop takes, that was my idea. My idea is that I'll come back with an attack here. But I don't know. I couldn't defend making that move. And I hated the fact that my bishop just kept on being stuck here. So here he comes in this way. I almost made this mistake. Trust. I was even calculating this, which is also a mistake. So yeah. If he did play this, then the move would have to be here. But I almost made that mistake. And I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where you could mention that I made a mistake at this point. But that's why I think it's just winning. You can't play knight takes because I just win this guy for free. Come in here. Just go back, right? So, yeah. Yeah, I think he should have traded here. I think that's what he should have done here. It may not win him the game, but I think he should have traded here. definitely 100% think he should have traded. It's still problematic. He's still losing, but I still think he should have traded there. The engine says he shouldn't have. Well, because suddenly, yeah, okay, no, it's here. It still says he shouldn't have. He actually played the best move. I just felt like now this gave me the opportunity to come in here and threaten stuff. And I think his response was also very wrong. Actually, where would you put your bishop here? Because this is what you have to consider. And after takes, then you really have to be sure of your moves here. Not so easy to figure out this position. I still think white is winning here, but maybe it's not so clear. Especially with the fact that this guy is kind of not okay where it is. Okay, maybe there's knight c8 with d6, d7. And I think the logic, let's say my opponent comes in here. Yeah. Yeah, I just go back, right? Yeah, here I just go back. Like, how do we win that? Sorry, where are we? Knight c8 is a consideration. And if the king attack the knight, what do? We go knight a7. Oh, okay, I'm just missing the hanging stuff. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, there is chances. But there are chances. But like I said, this was very uncomfortable for me. I did not enjoy this position, especially when it got to this point. After the queens went off, I was a little bit okay. But I didn't enjoy the position here when I had to play this. But I think that was the best option, right? G5. Yeah, G4 is the best. Is one of the best options. H5 is also good. But yeah, I did not enjoy that position. I just managed to survive. I mean, that's what you have to do if you want to win at chess, right? So, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. And I do hope you have a wonderful rest. Peace.